Hello everyone. Today I'm just gonna try to make a YouTube video. If you guys end up seeing this, that means I actually carried through with the video. And today we're simply just gonna be going around trying to catch fish in my neighborhood and surrounding area. And we just had what I'm just gonna call a Midwest hurricane or a Midwest monsoon. Everything's flooded. It's been essentially non-stop raining the past 3 or so days at least. And to my knowledge, it hasn't rained much, if even, so far today. And I hope it shouldn't. So, but the ponds, right now ponds are about the only thing that's fishable. We're gonna try to go to the creek/stream across the street. It's actually been a hot minute since I've been there. And I'd like to catch some non-centrarchids, because that's all I've really been able to catch for the most part recently. So yeah, in addition to that, we're also going to be trying for bullhead catfish in ponds and stuff. But without further ado, enough yapping, let's get to the video. Alright, so right here we have a gorgeous orange throat darter. There are a ton of them in this little creek/stream, and they get very colorful. Some of them in here are, as thought of by me and some friends, might be hybrids with rainbow darters, which rainbow darters have red on their anal fin, which is that bottom fin right there, right here. And orange throat darters just have blue, but sometimes an orange throat darter like that, what looks to be an orange throat darter, can have red, and that usually means a hybrid, but sometimes they're hard to tell. This guy looks like a pure orange throat though, but yeah, very gorgeous specimen. All right, here in this seine we have 3 specimens of probably one of, if not the most abundant fish here, and that is the good old creek chub. Now, so far I've yet to catch a nice spawning colored one here. Here's 1, 2, and then the biggest one of the 3, which is about to escape. Oh, got it. Oh, he just escaped. He was about a little bit. He was like about an inch bigger than the others. But yeah. All right. Just caught an absolute stunner of a fish. Since I started coming here to recently, these guys have seemingly increased in abundance, which I'm very happy about, because they are very gorgeous fish, especially in spawning colors like this one, if I can catch it. This guy is a western black-nosed dace, an absolute stunner. They're a member of the genus Rhinichthyes, also known as the riffle daces. These guys are by far, I believe, the most abundant species in the United States, to my knowledge, of course. I could be wrong. Their sister species is the eastern black-nosed dace, which is along the east coast, in Atlantic slope. Yeah, if you can tell, they get gorgeous red stripe and those tiny microscopic tubercles. But yeah, this red stripe that they get is beyond gorgeous. Yeah, I believe the males only get the red stripe, as with most minnows when it comes to spawning season and spawning colors. Yeah, these guys, they also they can occupy a wide range of habitats. From they're almost always in high mountain, pristine mountain streams, but they can even live in essentially what, like, typically slow moving, almost farm like ditches and creeks and /streams like this one. So very adaptable species, very colorful, very abundant. Yeah, and when they're not in peak spawning color, they have a black band across. Like, that red band just becomes black. But yeah, absolute stunner. We're gonna release this. But yeah, it's actually my second one today. I didn't record the first one yet. Okay, so now to show you guys some of the fish in here. We have up first a pretty nice specimen for this spot, and that is a central stone roller. If I can get him to come back up front here, there he is. These guys, hence their name, roll stones. They have, if I can get him to come up without hurting his scales too much, I want to show you his mouth. See that callus? They get that from flipping stones. They also get nice tubercles. They get gorgeous colors. They look like a dragon, in my opinion, when they're colored up. Yeah, very nice specimen for this spot. Come on, buddy, you're fine. And next up, we got the Western Black-Nosed Dace I was telling you guys about earlier. Another gorgeous specimen. Where'd he go? There he is. Here's another orange throat darter that I went into detail about earlier. Actually, this might be the same one from earlier that I just put in here to take better photos of. This is a nice size specimen of a male. But yeah, look at that. His colors are gorgeous. And then I have a little green sunfish in here, because why not? Some of the green sunfish I've caught here before and today look a little sus, honestly. Some of them look like long-eared sunfish, which I wouldn't be too surprised if there's long-eared in here, just based on the proximity this is to Blacklet Creek, which is, I'd say, the closest major creek or system that this probably flows into, that long-eared are in there. And there he is. So yeah. All right, we have the classic fish, the bluegill. And nothing much to say. At a pond now. This is like, oh, focus. This is like the third spot so far today. Right in that tree line, there's a creek / stream that the one we were at earlier flows into. And I caught some bluegill there, tried for bullhead catfish, got some bites of something. And then I was able to seine up some, maybe like fathead minnows, but probably creek chubs. I have to take a closer look later. And yeah, bluegill. Alright, so next day for another spot, doing some fly fishing and bullhead fishing, and got a nice greengill sunfish on the fly. Micropterus, more like micropterus. We have a tiny largemouth bass we got on the fly. I thought he was gut hooked, but thank goodness he's not. Yeah, tiny little fella. Here we go. Yellow bullhead. I don't know, I've been casting out whole time. We keep getting bites. Most of the time it would end up being greengills or other sunfish, but finally I look over, the bobber's gone, reel it in, it's a nice yellow bullhead. You can tell it's a yellow bullhead and not any other kind because its chin barbels, or aka the whiskers on its chin, are a white or palish color. I'm gonna try to bring this guy over to the tackle because I've learned from past experiences, you do not want to put your finger in its mouth. It will crush your thumb. But yeah, and then they very squirmy and they have venomous sharp spines. So, and I'm honestly, I'm a scaredy cat, as you can tell, but there we go. So here is our yellow bullhead. Unfortunately this guy was gut hooked. The hook point was in its, like, had been swallowed, and I didn't want to risk, because like just tearing it out would further harm the fish. If you guys have any ideas on how to prevent gut hooking like bullheads, let me know, because I feel like from my recall last year, that happened once or twice as well. But I don't know if it's, the hook size I'm using, maybe it's too small, although it's recommended for bullhead catfish that the smaller hooks are better. I guess that's because bullheads are smaller size. But I don't know exactly what that is. If you guys have any insight, let me know. Aside from that, these guys, I cut this guy in a hot dog, just a tiny little chunk, and just cast it out there with a bobber. You can do it without a bobber, but I was told that bobber works better. I tried out a bobber, and bobber indeed does work better. I believe I've also caught these guys on worms, night crawlers, red worms, etc. I believe I may have caught one on pepperoni so far. I don't know. Bread, like they'll eat just about anything. Cheese, chicken, etc., etc. But this is a nice specimen. I'd say this is about as big as they get, or close to it. They're typically smaller. Last year around July or so, I actually started catching some juveniles, so they are spawning in here. Yeah, this is a really nice specimen compared to my hand. They're kind of underappreciated. They're often seen as pests, which they very much in many cases can be, especially out of their native range. But here in their native range, they definitely don't deserve hate. Yeah, beautiful species. All right, here we got a fish that here is pretty uncommon, but elsewhere is very common and often nuisance species, and that is the green sunfish. Now, these guys are typically people's least favorite sunfish, primarily just because of how abundant they are, but they're incredibly resilient. They can be found if there's a water in the United States and there's fish in it, there's more like you're not at least going to be green sunfish in it. Like, I can think of at least 2 or 3 ponds around my area that most, if not all, the fish in it appear to be green sunfish. But there's not a lot in here, and there's a ton of bluegill, so in turn there's a ton of greengill hybrid sunfish. So yeah, here we go, doubled up on another nice bullhead. Out of curiosity, is this the, I believe this is a different individual. Yeah, that's 2. Let's go. Just got my first big largemouth bass on the fly rod. Nice one. All right, I'm at a new spot and I just caught this giant freaking common carp on the fly. I had one hooked earlier before this one that came off, but look at this. Holy smokes. I get that many people hate carp, and they definitely are invasive and non-native. The common carp is probably the least problematic one to an extent. But yeah, just catching one for me is such an exciting thing and such an accomplishment, because this is my first carp on rod and reel so far, and on fly rod nonetheless. And yeah, this is just really fun. And there was like 2 or 3 of them right by that little storm drain thing, like waiting for food to come out or something. But yeah, some of them looked like koi. There might be koi in here, I wouldn't be surprised. It's in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, so I'm just dipping around. I catch this absolute gorgeous fathead minnow. Holy smokes. So fathead minnows are members of the genus Pimphophals, aka the blunt-nosed minnows. Now, there's 4 species, 3 of which are found in Ohio, and I've caught 3 of which. The 4th one's the swim minnow. It's over in like the Ozarks and stuff. Anyways, the blunt-nosed minnow is by far the most common, I'd say, in addition to the fathead minnow, which you can fathead minnows are often sold as rosy red minnows, and they're often stocked in ponds like this one. I thought I saw one earlier, so I had a suspicion. I was dip netting some juvenile minnows, or could have even been the carp, and I caught this beauty of a male. And then also the other one is the bullhead minnow. But yeah, so yeah. Okay. Whoa, no, watch out. We just got another carp
giant one. Whew. On the fly. Oh man, look at this. With the Jonas Aquarium getting it. Oh yeah. So we're doing some more carp fishing. I'm catching some of these little guys. Got some in there. Yeah, that's probably the biggest one so far today. Oh, there's one out there, a big one. Oh yeah. Hey, so I just seined up this nice size smallmouth bass right over by that tree. Gorgeous one. This is honestly probably the largest smallmouth bass I've caught so far. I haven't really done hook and line for them much so far. All of them I've caught so far have unintentionally been with the seine. But yeah, and it has faded quite a bit, but when I first caught him, this was bright blue under his chin. Man, they have that signature tiger marking. This guy loves biting my finger. But yeah, gorgeous fish. That's about how big he is compared to my hand. But yeah, absolute gorgeous fish. Time for a release. Oh, and he's off. All right, so here we have a big rock bass. Now, this is definitely my personal best rock bass. I want to say this is close to max size. I want to say anything much bigger might be like worth like close to state or world records or something. But yeah, seeing this guy up right there. But yeah, I also seined up a gorgeous Luxless of some sort. I popped up on the screen, but I forgot to record it. But yeah, get good release on this guy.